Award, the Academy of Achievement Golden Plate Award, and the Ajib Prize for Literature, and he has taught at many prestigious universities including Emory University, Harvard, and Obafemi Awolowo University. In his lifetime, Soyinka has published 2 novels, 3 collections of short stories, made 3 movies, translated 2 novels, 5 memoirs, 7 poetry collections, 13 essay collections, and produced nearly 30 plays. He holds honorary doctorates from numerous universities and has been invited to teach in schools around the world. He continues to write prolifically in spite of a bout with prostate cancer in 2014. Wole Soyinka, the Nigerian playwright and political activist, has positioned himself as a voice of the voiceless through his piece of art. He has distinguished himself as the African icon that continuously makes a mark in African literature and the world at large.
Is my fatherland. God bless Akwa.
We will invite all Akwa Ibomites to arise to the faith of greatness with our Rise agenda.
The sun is rising, the land is peaceful. It's so amazing that I can see. I want you to
Sometimes it's the story that calls. At other times, the people just want to be heard.
School, I need students, but I need teacher.
Can't continue like this.
Their voices re-echoing through time itself.
We haven't done anything.
If the tide is high, everybody run for safety.
Their tears leave a sweet sour taste for all. Their demands, a familiar call beckoning for change. In our world, no one expects a disaster to happen. But when it does, we'll be there to x-ray all sides, from the east to the west, north and south. Community Forum will examine the oddities and challenges to economic development, as well as issues yearning for government intervention. Watch fresh episodes of Community Forum on Sundays by 9:30 p.m. only on TVC News.
The Shared Prosperity Weekly TV series on TVC News. It is through this telecast the viewers get to know what is happening in the prosperity government of His Excellency Senator Hope Uzodinma, the Executive Governor of Imo State. Through this program, all questions agitating the minds of citizens and residents of Imo State are answered in details with documentary evidence. Don't miss it. Keep a date with us every Sunday on TVC News by 9 p.m.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Hello folks, good evening and welcome to another edition of Journalists Hangout. It's a Thursday. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Now today on the program, Lagos says toxicology test on Mohbad's body is ongoing in the United States. And later on we'll share this with you. Runshewe advocates use of culture to revamp the economy. Let me announce I'm hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju. Jide, greetings to you.
Good evening, the citizen.
And we're joined by a royalty, if you ask me, all the way from Akbumu in Osun State. May I say, welcome Olori Janet Mba Afalabi. I greet you.
Jones, good evening. It's nice to be here after almost 4 years.
Good to see you again.
4 years.
Yeah, 4 years. You were counting?
Yes, I was counting because by February, my husband will be 4 years on the throne. Okay. And the last GH I came was when I came to announce that my husband has been installed as the king and I may no longer be coming as frequently. And since then, I have not come. This is the first time I've come.
All right. Welcome.
See you.
Life at the palace?
It's a mixed pleasure. Sometimes can be depressing, sometimes can be very exciting.
Yeah. But the journalist in you was... the
journalist in me has refused to rest. I'm still very actively involved in the happenings in the community.
Okay, welcome, folks. Quick greeting to the Akpom people. They are watching.
Is it in Yoruba or in English?
No. Go native.
Okay. Ẹ kú ilé o, ẹ̀yin ọmọ Akpom tẹ́ ń wò mí nílé lóko. Mo ní kí n kí yín o, èmi olórí yín, èmi aya Alápòmù Janet Afọlábí ni mò ń kí yín pé ojú tẹ́ fi ń wò mí kò ní fọ́. Etí tẹ́ dẹ̀ fi máa gbọ́ mi kò ní di lágbára Ọlọ́run. Àpòmù á túbọ̀ máa ga sókè sí.
And mine is simply Society. Welcome. So the team is ready. I hope you are. All right, let's go, folks. You know, we may not have heard the last of the death of Nigerian singer Ilerioluwa Aloba, a.k.a. Mohbad. We hear that a toxicology test, which has to do with the internal body of the late artist, is generating a lot of interest. Asked why the test could not be conducted here at home, a counsel, Barrister O. Akinde, told the coroner magistrate Adetayo Shotobi that the autopsy had to be done abroad for proper examination following the various substances alleged to have been injected or taken by the deceased. And of course, the need to prevent controversy over an autopsy report. Deeper than we thought.
Yes, I had expected that by now the toxicology report would have been out. But just as the official of Lagos State, the Council of the Lagos State government said before the corona, they decided to let this report be done in the US so that at least it will bury any controversy that may come with the death of the young man. But it's taking so long. You can see that some people are already eager that it should be buried for this whole controversy to end, and the father is saying no until
we hear
this report is out, until a DNA is conducted, that he does not want to bury his son. And I agree with him that finality should be put to this matter before Mohbad is buried, because his matter has attracted worldwide interest. So we have to get to the root of the matter.
Only we put ourselves in this mess. Won't you say so?
What mess now?
I mean, an artist is dead. Getting him buried is becoming a tall order.
Because the dust that the death has raised has refused to settle. Refused to settle because of the stories surrounding his death. Nobody ever thought that Mohbad would attract this kind of attention in death. That he did not attract when he was alive. And you know, a lot of interest, a lot of accusations and counter-accusations. So I'm in support of the test being done abroad because of compromise. Some people may compromise. We've heard allegations of how some people, maybe out of corruption or greed, they will just go and collect money and reverse the case or reverse the results of the test. So let it be done. Because death or life is not something that we should be in a hurry to see the end. Let us follow it to the logical conclusion, to the extent that everybody will be at peace and at rest that this case is thoroughly handled. A lot of people have been alleging that, oh, they'll soon sweep it under the carpet, nothing will be done. The major accused people who were arrested have been released, and they said, okay, that may be the end of Mohbad's case. But it is not. It's gone to the US now. So let's wait and see what the results will be. It is not as if we don't have the labs here, but do we trust the labs? Do we trust the handlers of the people that will do a good job? To do a good job.
Yeah, foolproof job.
Yes, to do a good job. So those are the issues. And Mohbad, nobody believed that he could cause this kind of controversy. Some people said they never listened to his music. I listen to his music because my children are still youth. So whether I like it or not, they play and I listen. And some of the lyrics, you know, like the one he said, Maje komu mio. You know, anytime he says that, I feel like this motherly passion that, oh, maybe something is wrong with this boy, and he's trying to say, God, don't let them, you know, catch me or get rid of me. So each time that song brings out some form of emotion from it. So when he died, I now said, they have finally caught this guy.
Yeah. Well, happily, one good thing about science is whether or not you believe it, Olori, it is true. So when the result comes, we should be home and dry.
Yes, hopefully.
Okay, to our next story. You know, unarguably, the busiest road in the sub-Saharan region is the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Making the stretch as safe as possible for driver and pedestrian is of utmost necessity and importance. The House of Representatives in Nigeria has asked the federal government to construct 23 pedestrian bridges on the road. The resolution followed a motion moved by a member of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC from Oyo State, Akonde Shadikwe. A stitch in time, they say, saves 9. 23 footbridges. I'm looking at the stretch and asking at what points?
There are many points.
Okay.
From Ibadan. It's not just this stretch, the Lagos to Ibadan.
Okay.
Even in Ibadan's town, Felele, Iwo Road, and other places. But let me even talk about this Lagos that's to Tollgate, from Tollgate Lagos to Tollgate Ibadan, which I'm very, very familiar with. I can mention like 4 that need urgent pedestrian bridges. 1, Kara. That's Kara between Bega and the Long Bridge.
Okay, the Long Bridge, yeah.
It's so dangerous. The second one is Arepo. Arepo is a developed town, and there are more than 50 estates in that place. It's close to Punch newspapers, and it needs a pedestrian. That's 2. Then if you go further, Magboro, that prayer city needs another one. So I've counted 3 already. I've not gotten to Mowe.
Okay.
Although Mowe has one now, which is good. I think they built it when they were constructing that road. And there are still many others along towards the Ibadan. So if they could even do this one that I have said, it will save a lot of lives. I'm not against the number. 23 is okay. They can do more, that's fine, to save lives. Because every day people need to access the express to go to school, to go to work, to go to market, and they are crossing and risking their lives. But on the other hand, there are places where there are bridges and people are not using them. So those ones are on suicide mission. So let's leave them to do whatever they want for self-destruction. But there are those who are using the bridges, like the Ojota. They even had to do barricade to force people. That's where you have to force somebody to use.
You were taking the Ojota thing out of my mouth. You know, at Ojota, Jide, you know, they have 2 footbridges. Yes. I think 150 meters of each other. But people hardly use them. No,
during the time of Ambody, people were forced to use them. You see long queues. And the barricades that they erected on the median was wrong. So they could not do anything beyond using those footbridges. Now, if you go to Ojota, you will see that they have vandalized the barricades.
Are you telling me that?
Along the road to Ikorodu, you will see that they've destroyed those barricades just so that they can cross the expressway on foot. And it makes no sense. I was in Borno State about 2 months ago, and in the customs area where the governor constructed an overhead bridge, they have erected those
medians.
No, not just medians, the barricades.
Okay.
So that you must use the bridge. Now the governor of Borno State, because some elderly people complained that it's physically tasking for them to climb those bridges. He now constructed the first ever pedestrian underpass that will take you from this side of the road to the other side. I've not seen it anywhere else.
No, there used to be, in those far off days, there used to be one at Apapa, you know, but Olori, you remember, men of the underworld took over and people stopped using it.
So that is what they use now, and it's very convenient. Whether you are a young person or an old person, it's convenient. You just, you know, they kind of created.
I understand.
Yes, on that, and it was after he had constructed the road that people complained.
Okay.
And they still found a way to create the underpass under the highway that had been constructed. Now people are using it. In Ibadan, you know, this expressway, Lagos-Ibadan expressway, the bulk of it is in Ogun State, but the built-up areas are largely in Ibadan. That's the Soka that she talked about earlier, Felele and all of this place. And there are children who need to go to school. They need to cross the road. So to protect them, there is a need to construct those overhead bridges so that, pedestrian bridges, so that it makes life easier for people and they can get to the other side of the road without the risk of being knocked down by vehicles. So this is a very good suggestion by Mrs. Tolulope Shadipe, APC from Oyo State, and I hope that the Federal Ministry of Works will respond to this demand and do something quickly.
Drawing from what you said earlier on about Borno State, I trust the federal government is a listening one.
Yes, I want to believe that beyond even, because she focused largely on the Ibadan side.
Yeah.
But as Olori has said, even in this part, that is Ogun State, Lagos, some parts of Ogun State, we need these footbridges along the expressway, not simply Ibadan, because the places, the locations that she suggested, I can see that they are in Ibadan, Olonshogo, Remeji, and all those. Well, she's their representative, so she's speaking for them. She's doing the job that they asked her to do. But the point that we are making on this program is, in between Lagos and Ogun State, there are still points where you need to put the. Look at this one here. You know, it's just recently that they even came up with the one in Alausa, opposite the secretariat.
Okay.
For so long, people had been killed while trying to cross the road. But today we have it.
But I just hope, as you said, that Nigerians will please learn to remove the old dress and put on a new dress of staying alive. Use the bridges. Use the bridges.
Just, there is nothing you can say to them. Those that will not use, will not use. But there are those who genuinely need these bridges. Yes. Like mothers who want to cross with 4 or 5 children.
Yeah.
She can't risk holding the children's hand and cross the express and not using the bridges. But there are some smart guys who feel that they can cross the express without...
Some have even turned the footbridges to marketplace.
Yeah.
In Abuja, you know, on your way to the airport, you see some footbridges that they built. People are selling. In the same thing in Nasarawa, those, what's this place called in Nasarawa? Just on the way to Kefi, you see footbridges. They are already marketplaces. So why are people turning footbridges to
because
markets?
the authorities of those places allow them.
Yes, they are not.
That's it.
They are not doing anything about it.
Well, it's a matter of choice. you have a choice to stay alive. Okay, then to our next story. You know, students of history would recall with relish the Agbekoya revolt of 1968 and 1969, which underscores the Yoruba core values of resistance, defiance, determination, boldness, and doggedness. Of course, Yoruba armory lies in its supernatural myths, pantheons, mores, and history. The renewed Agbekoya Society of Nigeria says it has about 4,000 personnel providing security for farmers in the southwest. We're getting somewhere, Olori.
Yes, this Agbekoya, anytime I read their history, I'm always excited. Excited because it came together to resist injustice. You know, one of the things that really gets me, you know, as if I was there, as if I should be a reporter and go and cover, is when they went to Makpo to go and revolt. And they were singing that they will not pay if the cutlass cannot, that they will cut off the translation. Boy. So the government side now said, don't lo worry, don't ni asho bora, owo la ma fi come up, you know. Okay. So they were now singing, you know, back and forth, and the thing led into a war, a theater war, particularly in Ogbomoso. So many things were destroyed, including the palace. Many people were killed because some of these Agbekoya people, 20 of them were killed. And the combination of army and police could not now stem the crisis, which went into villages, into towns. So it became a big-scale war at that time. So they are still very strong.
So,
they are
the
biggest.
West became the wild, wild West.
Yeah, very wild. It was so wild that it took, I think it was Awolowo that now came and intervened before the matter was resolved. And what led to it? They increased tax from £1.10, reminds me of those days, £1.10 to £8. Look at the increase, almost seven. Let's remove the 10, 1 to 8, that's 7. And they resisted because most of them were poor. Poor farmers, where would they get money to pay the tax? And they said they would not. Government insisted. And you know that in those days, many people were evading taxes. That's like what is happening now. And if you evade tax, they will lock the person in Makpo Hall in detention until somebody
at the time.
At that time. So, and somebody will now have to come and bail you. So sometimes they stay there for so many days or weeks because nobody will come. If you are not a taxpayer with evidence, you cannot bail anybody. You cannot bail anybody. So they will remain there to the extent that one of Ibadan Balogun committed suicide in protest of Ibadan young men being detained in Makpo Hall.
Boy.
Telling you. Boy. So the matter went on like that and turned to war. And so I'm glad that this same Agbekoya, they are still alive. The group is still strong.
But reformed, renewed.
Reformed, renewed, because times have changed. They've been on since 1938. I think they are celebrating their 85th anniversary or so. So, and they are now metamorphosed, you know, over the years. But they are still strong. They are still vocal. Now they have even turned, you know, the group into like a vigilant hunters group, protecting the farmers. You know, most of these farmers are in the inner villages. They are not in the cities. You don't see
like your Akpomu.
Oh, Akpomu is. There are so many villages, 26 villages under Akpomu, which are just farm villages.
Okay.
And these are where the majority of the villagers live, unprotected. So it is a group like this, Agbekoya, that has now come up to protect its members so that there will be food. If there is no food, if these farmers are no longer secured in the farms, they cannot produce food, and if they don't, there will be hunger. So for Agbekoya, I see them as a testament of endurance, a testament of courage, and a testament of resilience.
Yeah. Jide, you know, Olori's Yoruba is hitting me hard, you know.
Yes.
And to think he's a proud Ibibio daughter.
That is the completely perplexing reality about her.
Yeah.
Because she speaks Yoruba with such smoothness that you'll be wondering what's going on.
If you
even you that you are a Yoruba person, you feel challenged that it looks like this person can speak better Yoruba than me.
So, yeah, from the look of things.
Yes.
4,000 Agbekoyas, they have formed themselves into a powerful clique. So we are getting someplace.
Yes, it is clear now that the policing structure in our country, the way it is, it cannot deliver the goods. You can see the governor of Katsina has set up what looks like civilian JTF, which they have in Borno State. The governor of Zamfara has also indicated that they would want to set up a civilian JTF. Civilian JTF, these are civilian young boys who have been trained to handle some weapons, not the automatic
light
rifles, yes. And they complement the army a lot. Thousands of them have been killed in the war against terror. They are usually the first to go and check a vehicle. And they know the bad boys very well because the bad boy used to live with them. In fact, it's the civilian JTF that chased Boko Haram into Sambisa.
Oh, really?
They used to operate in the city, killing people. You could be in a taxi, gossip about them. Somebody they will just come in the night to take you away. So, but the civilian JTF were the boys who revolted against them, sent them packing, and they have come to stay. Now, every state has realized that you need vigilantes funded by government, assisted by government to help protect the people. The police cannot do it alone. This is what we are seeing. We need states to complement the police, not just simply by providing Hilux vans and all that. I commend the Lagos State government for that. At least without those vehicles, we can't say where the police will be today. Yeah. And other states who are helping them with equipment, with vans and all that. But we need states in the spirit of community policing to begin to form vigilante groups that will complement the work of the police. Agbekoya has shown us that, look, this is possible, and I'm happy that they are focusing on those farmers because we want food security. How do we achieve it if bandits continue to stop people from accessing their food?
Yeah.
You can see the success that we are recording, especially with Ondo State, in the area of Amotekun. So much work, so much progress has been made. In Osun too, they've done well with Amotekun. And Oyo State, the kind of killings that used to happen in Gangan and all those places, they have stopped because Amotekun is working with the police to make sure that we deal with those bad boys. So I'm happy to read this positive news about Amotekun, and Southwest will continue to be the safest geopolitical zone in our country if this continues.
The Amotekun is the Yoruba word for leopard. Agbekoya is, what does it mean?
The farmers suffering or
revolt suffering, against suffering.
Yeah. Who will not? Okay, we'll take a breather now, go for a commercial break. We should be back. Please stay with us.
In a world hungry for goodness, with a splash of golden terra oil, a mom can transform a frown into a smile. Make a lunch hour a happy hour. Change no thanks into yes please. Provide care when our nearest and dearest needs it most. And resolve family feuds without blowing a whistle. Providing tasty, nourishing family meals is all that matters. The world needs moms because where there are moms, there is hope, happiness, and love. Golden Terra Oil, or pure love.
You're heading home from work. In the busy traffic, your car breaks down. Car horns blast. Your car is pushed aside. You call for help. Phone battery blinks and dies. You take a cab, few miles, tire bursts. What a day. Frustrated, sweaty, and tired. Nearing home, darkness envelops the street. Wow, just one house is bubbling with life. Brilliant lights, loud music, smiling wife, all welcome you.
We alone have light?
Yes, it's JRB Solar Energy Systems, my anniversary present to us.
No matter how dark life is, the sun is gonna shine on everything you do. JRB solar inverters, batteries, solar panels, solar street lights and more. Telephone 0906 752 1111. Email sales@jrbsolar.com. JRB, the sun is gonna shine on everything you do.
All right, folks, we're back. Olori, let's take that Agbekoya story home. But from the angle of before now, Africa had a culture. Of course, we are going to discuss culture in greater detail in our next story. You know, we had our ways of doing things, but the white man came, those things became eroded. Now, if we have a reformed Agbekoya, who says we cannot have a reformed Igunuko and all those things?
There's nothing wrong in having such groups. It's just that, like I said, Agbekoya had been resilient about theirs. They have stood together for so long, and they are determined to still stand together and fight for the farmers. So if the other groups too would borrow a leaf from the Agbekoyas and then start such groups, it will be a good thing to have.
And so, Jide, our culture should be a veritable source of getting close to Mother Nature, because that's what it was.
Yes, it's unfortunate that we value foreign culture more than we value our own culture. Today, we see situations in which a child doesn't even think that it makes sense to greet his parents, to say good morning. But that was not how we were raised. The influence of
Westernization?
Yes, the things that they see on TV and all that, they have clearly eroded our cultural values, and it really makes no sense. But for me, the story of Agbekoya, my mom told me stories about Agbekoya, and it's a good thing that they are still there, and they are still useful, because the way things are going, insecurity in our country, we need these people. There was a time when bandits were harassing us along this Lagos-Ibadan expressway. They had to call traditional rulers, OPC and the rest, and the whole thing came
deployed their men.
Yes, it came down. Amotekun began to patrol, and the whole thing came down. There was a lecturer that was even abducted at that time. We can't allow the Southwest to go the way of the Northwest. Every time the Americans come up with a travel advisory, it's usually the Southwest that they leave out. It's usually the Southwest that they leave out.
Yeah.
Because the Southwest
can take care of its...
When you look at the major crimes committed in our country, the Southwest stands out as the safest geopolitical zone in our country. In Lagos, for example, how many kidnap cases do we record in Lagos? Very few.
Yeah.
How many terrorist activities happen in Lagos? It rarely happens. You know, so we want the Southwest to remain safe, and Amotekun is doing a good job, because Ondo is the gateway to the Southwest from the north.
That's it.
And Amotekun is especially strong in Ondo State. We used to call Governor Akredolu the Governor General of Amotekun. He's invested so much in terms of structure, infrastructure, and everything. That is the example that we want.
You will allow me to humor the Olori because Olori will remember Ekbekoya. You remember Ekbekoya, the man leopard of yore. You remember Ekong, Atat, and all those things.
Those were masquerades.
Masquerade. Ekpo?
Yes, Ekpo is masquerade.
But they had a job to do in the community. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Not because they wanted to show up. No.
They have juju now.
They had, yeah?
They get juju.
Or something like that. Or something like that. So essentially, we had our ways of taking care of our community.
Yes.
Before the white man came.
Yes. Because the community is usually a small place, so everybody knows everybody. Yeah. Everybody knows the criminal, everybody knows the good people. So you can hardly commit crime and get away with it.
As the Yorubas say,
find you.
Ashekpamolewa, Ashegbe Kosi. You may hide a wrongdoing, but that you will go unpunished.
Yeah. At the appointed time, you will.
At the appointed time. Okay then, to our next story. You know, industrialization sure holds the key to unleashing Nigeria's full potential. And so deploying everything in the toolbox is the key as we speak. The Director General of the National Council for Arts and Culture, Otumba Olusegun Rushewe, has emphasized a futuristic path that explores and utilizes Nigeria's creative industry to find a lasting solution to the problem of employment. To him, the use of culture as a tool to revamp our economy is an open sesame, Jide.
Yes, it is. For so many years, you've not done well in this area. I believe that there's so much potential, that are untapped. I was reading about some of the big cultural festivals of the world. And I read about Oktoberfest. It happens in Munich, Germany, every year. The one of this year, 7.2 million people came into Germany to celebrate Oktoberfest. It simply means October Festival.
Okay.
Now, when 7.2 million people come into your country to celebrate...
You must feel it.
Of course, in terms of, what was it called? Forex illiquidity that we are facing.
That's it.
When tourists come into a country, they come with their money. They buy your things. They want to take them back. Because there is no one who will go to a place, maybe to attend a cultural festival, and not feel like buying something that symbolizes the identity of that country to take with him. Like when I went to South Africa for the first time, I bought this vuvuzela, that they usually blow when they are playing football matches in South Africa. I bought it home. I bought some of their gospel artists. I bought some of their CDs. The choral culture in South Africa is just terrific.
Yeah.
So I knew that these things could be useful to me. Now you look at the carnival of Rio de Janeiro. Millions of people all over the world go to Brazil just to witness that Rio carnival.
The carnival signifies the first day of Lent. It comes in February, March in Brazil.
So I'm focused on the influx of foreign exchange, if I can use influx in this context. The foreign exchange that will come in if we were to turn one of our own festivals in this country to a real international festival. We do some film festivals here and there. Those are not the ones that I'm talking about. We could have, maybe, we have some fishing festivals, for example, in our country. Yes. Turn it into a real world-class, globally acclaimed cultural festival. People will come in to come and celebrate it with us and spend their money here.
Yeah.
Because Dubai has shown us that life is not simply about a petrodollar. Look at the accent that Dubai or UAE has placed on tourism.
Imagine the Middle East held a World Cup for the first time. It tells you it is possible.
Now Saudi Arabia too wants to host it.
That's it.
You know, Saudi Arabia too wants to host it. If our brothers can host it, we can too. So, and this Dubai that we are talking about, some years back, the things that they have now, they never had. They too were going to, Lebanon. Lebanon used to be what Dubai is today. The rich people from the Arab world, it was Lebanon that they were going to celebrate.
You remember that Beirut, capital of Lebanon, was the most beautiful city in the world.
Before the war came.
Yeah.
Before the war, needless war.
Oh, yeah.
And that country is a shadow, a pale shadow of what it used to be. The people of UAE told themselves that, what we are going to spend money on in Lebanon, what stops us from developing it here? And that's how the value of a competent and a forward-looking leader. You can never underestimate the value of a leader that is forward-thinking. And look at Dubai today. The same people, Emirates Airline, that Nigerian Airways used to donate aircraft to, is now one of the best in the world. So I believe what he's saying, the cultural economy, the potential of the cultural economy of our country is huge. It's just that we have chosen not to tap it.
No wonder the experts say it's an untapped gold mine.
It is. It is. What it just needs is for government to come up with the right policies, the right ideas, and work with the right people. We are going to make money not just from these cultural assets that we have, but even from our music and all that.
Yeah.
Our dancing. Look at Koroso dancers, for example, from the Fulani North. When you see them, they are dancing. You feel like even dancing like them. So our country is a great country with tremendous potential in the area of culture, in the area of tourism. That is the point that Ronsewe is making. And there is money there to be made.
Yeah.
If we apply ourselves to the goal of transforming this sector.
Oliri, today, November 23rd, a Thursday, the last Thursday, the third Thursday, and last, if you like, in the month of November, is what the Americans call Thanksgiving Day. It's a holiday there in America. People are going to troop into America. We have such things here.
Thanksgiving Day is a big celebration for them in America, because some of my friends who are there, on that day, they don't even want to talk to people. They celebrate it as if they are celebrating Christmas,
it's a carnival.
Even more than Christmas. So when Babajide was talking about Lebanon, something came into my mind. You know, before that war, Lebanon was like London to Saudi Arabia. That was why Osama bin Laden, you know, he came from a very rich home. Yes. So they felt that Saudi was not good enough for him. They sent him to Lebanon to go to school. It was that war that brought Osama back to Saudi Arabia. And it was...
And perhaps changed him forever.
Yes, and changed him because he now went to fight for... to support the war in Afghanistan against the Americans. And nobody sent him on his own because his family was rich. They now said, okay, go with the helicopter. And he went, when he landed in Afghanistan, the dust that the helicopter raised, they said people had to take cover, you know, son of a rich man. That's just by the way. So, on tourism, it is a fantastic industry. Apart from agriculture, which is also an industry for the rural area, tourism and cultural tourism can also be another big industry if it's properly harnessed, if it's properly, you know, followed up with genuine interest and sincere intentions. Because it is so sweet to come out and say, oh, tourism is the next place to be in Nigeria. Nigeria without oil, Nigeria with beyond oil should be tourism. It's good coming from Mushiwi.
Does your mind not go to what the former governor of Cross River did, Donald Duke?
Donald Duke.
The carnival.
The carnival, yes, I know. That's a very big.
Drew the attention of the world to that.
Annually. And you know that thing started from this Kombi dance and Abang dance.
Yeah.
Very simple. When I was a child, they used to teach us to dance it. And now they have turned it. It shows how people can be creative enough to turn something that is ordinary into extraordinary. And I think that in the rural areas, people should come together and think of how they can now use their culture to bring in money for themselves, to develop their local communities. Because this practice that we have development from outside in, that's from cities to the rural area, development will not reach them in the next century.
Yes.
Because it's supposed to be from inside out, but we are practicing outside in. We are building houses like spiders from the top instead of from the bottom up. So that's, by the way, I feel that culture, every local government, Mushiri was even saying every state, I am saying that every local government in this country has something that they can showcase. Because they all celebrate their days. Akpomu has its day. And by the way, Akpomu, it can even be a cultural village or city or whatever you want to call it, because let me give you the reason. I'm not advertising. I'm saying a statement of fact. Let me make my point. What Apom used to be was the only market in the entire Oyo Empire. If you read the history of Yoruba, the Oyo Empire, the history of the Yorubas, it was the marketplace for slave trade. It's not a good thing though. It was a marketplace for the sale of beads, like I'm wearing, for animal talks, for ashoke and alligator pepper. I know that alligator pepper is used by African cultures for different purposes. So it was from Akum that they were now bringing the slaves to Badagry. So people just hear slaves in Badagry. They don't know where those slaves were coming from. So for instance, if we now start something, they'll now show you where that market was 300 years ago.
You are reminding me of the long juju of Aruk Chuku. Jide, which it was a mirror. Interesting. All right, let's make some money here too. We are going for a commercial break. We should be back.
It's like every other year, my wife wants to paint, and her own kind of budget just makes me want to faint. 50 buckets of paint? Make it make sense. I'm only dropping cheddar if it's using Santex.
Santex? Yes, Santex. The amazing durability is more than mere text. Rich quality paint within your budget. So make the smart choice. Paint with Santex.
Can't go wrong
With a smart choice. Santex paint.
Santex paint.
Smart choice.
Paint your dreams on the walls of your reality. Buy Santex paint products from October to December 2023 and win amazing prizes. Offers available at authorized Santex paint stores across Nigeria. Santex paint, the smart choice.
TerraCube is available in beef, chicken, jollof, and shrimp flavors at attractive prices of 50, 100, 200, and 500 naira.
TerraCube, unwrap joy, unleash taste.
TerraCube is available in beef, chicken, jollof, and shrimp flavors at attractive prices of 50, 100, 200, and 500 naira.
TerraCube, unwrap joy, unleash taste.
All right, welcome back. Let's take the tourism story home. Jide, tourism is one way of telling the world this is the way we are. come and see us?
Yes, you know, the definition of culture really has to do with the values, beliefs, symbols, and the language that define a people. And what Nonsewe is saying is that Nigeria is one of the richest countries in the world in terms of cultural festivals, and we can actually make a lot of money through this if the stakeholders, the key players in the sector come together to really energize that sector. And he also explained that one way by which we can strengthen our currency and keep it stable is to look at diversification with focus on our cultural products.
Yeah.
Just as I was saying earlier, that when people come into a country, you know, as tourists, they want to take some of your products with them.
A memento.
Yes, and when you have many products that are good enough, that are of international standard, you are going to make a lot of money. So Nigeria has to consciously sell itself to the world. And we must develop those products that we have. Out of the multitude of festivals that we have in our country, like your Arugungu Fishing Festival, Calabar Carnival, Ofala Festival, Osun Osogbo, Eko International Film Festival, Olojo,
Young Festival,
Celebration, Lagos Carnival, Ekiti Festival, Jude Oba. We should be able to use these products to boost our economy and to showcase Nigeria to the world. That is the message from Otumba Nonsewe.
We lost the opportunity of sweet selling a game reserve like Yankari. In Lagos here, we used to have the Bandits Zoo here in Lagos. Such things are gone. They are gone. And you are wondering if it is not too late in the day.
I don't think it's too late in the day because we still have vast lands, not within the cities, in the rural areas. So if such things still want to be resuscitated or brought back, it can easily be done. And I want to say that Mushewe can work with people from different communities and let them discuss what they have. So he can now harness, maybe merge two states, merge 3 local governments, and present it because he's in a better position. He's an authority in culture and tourism. He has been around for so long, so he will know a way of, showcasing this culture to the world.
And Otumba Rushewe must take into account a safe environment.
Yes.
Safe environment, safety, security.
Of course, because if there's if an event like that is going to take place, security will be one of the items on the agenda.
Yeah.
In fact, it should be number 1. So throughout the period of the event, the tourists must be well protected.
They must feel safe.
Yes.
Remember what happened in Kaduna, one of the tourist centers, that bandits stormed the place and killed people. I think 2-3 years ago or so in Kaduna, in the southern Kaduna part of the state. It was really shocking that we allowed that to happen. How many tourists will feel like going back there after what transpired? Yes. One of the tourists lost her husband.
Oh dear.
So we need to keep our country safe before we can actually maximize the potential of our cultural festivals.
But we do wish Otumba Rushewe Godspeed.
Yes, we do.
Olori, we must go.
Yes, it's time to go.
When are you returning home?
I'll tell you after the program.
Okay, all right. But let's thank Babajide Kolade Otitojo for coming.
Thank you.
And Olori Janet Mba Afolabi, many thanks.
Welcome.
Our greetings to Kabiesi.
Kabiesi.
All right, that will just about do it on today's program of Journalist Hangout. Join us tomorrow for another episode. You may watch a repeat broadcast of this particular episode at 11 later tonight. And on Sunday, we expand the field for you from 1:30 to 3:30. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Citizen Jones Usen. Bye-bye now. Take care.